Okay, this is the M1 paper from January 2025. This is question number 3, and as we can see, this first part is a dynamics connected particles question. When we come down to the second part, we use this information in here to do a little bit of work on SUVAT, and then we come back to using conservation of linear momentum for this last part here. So let's have a read through the question and see what we've got. It says, particle P of mass 3m, everything's in the diagram, particle P of mass 3m, particle Q mass m, they're 1.4 meters apart, and it says an impulse of magnitude lambda is applied to P, and after that the speed of P is 5 meters per second. So my standard diagram would be, we're trying to find lambda in terms of n, I'd start off with P, and what I normally do, I'm going to do it all even though I won't need the right-hand side of the diagram, is I would normally say before, what have we got? Well, we've got P here, which is 3m, and it's going to have 0 velocity to start off with. Q, which is over here, I'm going to put on there, but we don't need Q for the first part of the diagram. And then after, what do we have? Well, we have the same situation. Use my iPad to just help me out with that. P, now we know, is traveling 5 meters per second. And because this is an impulse part, that they're telling me that the impulse is lambda in the direction PQ. So what I'm going to do is to say, there's my impulse here, which is equal to lambda. So for part A, I only need this side of the diagram here. So I might as well just get on and do that. What we can say is that impulse, which you should know, I is equal to m v minus u. So in this case, it's 3m, 5 take away 0. So it works out to be lambda is 15m. Okay, so perfect. And it says, immediately before P collides with Q, the speed is 2.5 meters per second. Coefficient of friction between P and the surface is mu. Can we find the value of mu? So what we're now going to be considering is this motion from here all the way to there. We've got a SUVAT, and we'll have some F equals MA work. So let's have a look at that for part B. First of all, I've just considered this as a SUVAT. What I'm going to want to do is to find the acceleration. So what have I got going on here? Classic SUVAT, write everything out, work out which of your formulae you're going to use, and just get on and do it. So we've said, or rather they told me, that it went 1.4 meters. We know it's set off with 5 meters per second, and they've told me that it reaches it with 2.5 meters per second. A is what I'm looking for. T is not involved in this one. S, U, V, and A. So if you've done any work on SUVAT, you should have absolutely no problem saying this is a V squared equals U squared plus 2AS. Let's just substitute everything in that we know. So 2.5 squared is going to be 5 squared plus 2 lots of A times 1.4. So we have that situation. Tidy that all up. We're going to get 2.8A works out to be equal to minus 18.75, which gives me A working out to be equal to minus. Now I'm just going to write 3 decimal places here, but I'm going to keep the whole number for my calculator there. When I get that, that does not surprise me at all. Obviously, the object is slowing down, and we're going to try and work out our force diagram now. So our force diagram, what would we have had for this situation? Well, again, we've got our particle here, and obviously because it's on a surface there, we have our weight acting downwards, which is 3mg, and we have an equal and opposite force acting upwards of r. And then this sometimes catches my students out. So what I tend to do is to say, Okay, we've got our frictional force, which is slowing this thing down. We're accelerating in this direction. What some of my students like me to do, even though only for it to make sense to them, is to say, in effect, you've got 0 newtons acting that way when you've also got your F decelerating the object here. So now, what do I need to do? Our classic resolve vertically, first of all, to work out what R is. So we're going to get resolve vertically, F equals ma, it's in equilibrium. R just works out to be equal to 3mg. Why did I work out R? So I could use F equals mu R to work out what F is. So in this case, F is just going to be mu multiplied by that. And then we did both of those so that we could work out our F, so that we could do F equals ma in this direction. So it's this part here then, F equals ma, where we say 0 minus F. I'm not going to leave that 0 on there, it's not there, but 0 minus F. So when I do my F equals ma, I get minus F, so take that back down, minus 3 mu mg is going to be equal to minus, or 3m times minus 6.696, I think it was. And so the negatives cancel, the m's cancel, 3's cancel if you want to. We're going to get that mu works out to be equal to, that's 6.696 divided by 9.8, and so mu works out to be equal to 0.68 there. Obviously mu would be a positive value, should be between 0 and 1 for the coefficient of friction. So hopefully that makes sense in terms of the positives and negatives. Have another read of it if you're not sure. And then what do we do for the last part? So for the last part, it now does turn into this collisions question. I think I might have said connected particles earlier. Collisions question. Find the speed of P immediately after the collision if we know that immediately afterwards Q has the speed 2.1. So I'm going to come back up here and now copy this down and use this as I would expect. Let's put it down here. So what do we have as our scenario? This is for part C. We've got that, let's put this on properly now. I don't need the lambda anymore for this part. We have that before the collision, this is traveling with 2.5 meters per second. Q's not moving at all, so we can have 0 there if you want to. 0 meters per second. And then afterwards, we don't know what that speed is, but we do know that Q is now traveling with a speed of 2.1 meters per second. And what we're trying to do is to find V. So using the conservation of linear momentum, we're going to say M1U1 plus M2U2 is going to be equal to M1V1 plus M2V2. Now we're using all of the diagram here. So what have we got? We've got 3m multiplied by 2.5 plus 0 for the second part is equal to 3m multiplied by v plus m multiplied by 2.1. We can cancel out all the m's at that stage if you want to, but it's going to be straightforward. 7.5 works out to be equal to 3v plus 2.1. So 3v works out to be equal to 5.4, which means that v works out to be equal to 1.8 meters per second. And what that shows you at that point, I didn't really talk about it there, I assumed that v had kept going in that direction. If my v had worked out to be negative, if it had, then that would have shown that it got knocked back by the collision. Unlikely when you've got a 3m mass hitting a m mass, you would imagine it would carry on. It has slowed down. It was 2.5. It's slowed down to 1.8. And I'm going to put in the same direction. The direction has not been reversed by this motion. So that's part C done. They didn't specifically talk about the directions anyway with that one. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody.